Alright, so I would show you guys how to do this on this side. So in this dash there's one over there. I already took that out since I had already had this out. I took this one out. If you look in here, there's these little circle pieces. That's where these set in. You can see it in there as well, and on the other side. So I have my little pick set here. I'm gonna go in there, apply some pressure. You can see, I hope you can see in here, that little circle. Just putting that little bit of pressure. Then we can pull this out. It might be different because I just realized this close thing is on both sides. So, yeah, it should work the same. We just have to get this out first. That's super long. Does this whole thing come out? Okay, well, on these ones, you just pop those little pins and this comes out. This is a little different because this whole piece looks like the closed hatch is locked in there. So I might need a trim removal piece to take this out, and then we might be able to go get that. We'll come back and figure this out. Got a 7mm socket here. I was feeling around in there to see if there was clips or pins. The only thing I felt is right underneath, straight back, and then up against, if this was the back up against here, there's a little screw, a little bolt screw, same over here, just like we had on the rest of the dash. So I'm reaching up there. And because those are reversed, instead of you going this way, turning it left, you're going to want to turn it right, because essentially mirrored that is left. Those are up there. I taken my trim tool and went around, feeling. I felt like there was a couple clips in there. That I broke them all. So yeah, there are clips right here. So you gotta reach in with your trim tool, push it down, and then you should be able to pull it out. I unfortunately, I guess, knocked them back. So now I have to hope that this one is enough to hold it, and I broke it here. So this is why you hear me over and over again. Go slow, be cautious. But that was taking way too long to get those little bolts out. But as you can see where they are. So I started rushing it. That's what I get. So I'm gonna go try to figure out how to get these off. But I just showed you guys how to get this off, and when we come back, we'll put this back, hopefully fixed, put these painted black. Okay, figured out how to take these off. Looks like that broke because I snapped down it. But those just have little snaps. You lift this up. Just enough to go over that first clip. Pull it up a little bit. This side. Try to do both sides at the same time. We'll do this bottom half first. There we go. Go this way. That good. We'll go here. Yep. I don't know. It's just falling apart. I might have to get a new one. We'll see. So it sticks back in there. I am going to have a sound system, so I don't really want things rattling around. Alright, so we got those out. Now I'm going to work on... I already painted a couple of those. We'll wait for those to dry, but we're going to work on taking the door panels off. These back ones, I'm going to clean up, paint, and keep this gray. This is cloth, so that'll give us our black and gray door, and then we'll replace the speakers in here. I can do that with both back doors. Front doors I'm going to be replacing, so we're going to pull this out. We'll put the speakers in, but we're not going to put the door panels back in on this one. So, got trim removal kits, but there are some bolts first. 10 millimeter bolt there. It's going to be one under here we have to get to. It's not coming out right. There we go. And the other one's going to be right here in the front. Just get enough fluff in there. I want to break it. Put those pins out. Push down and pull all this. That's a pop tab. Push on that. So, I'm breaking everything today, man. Luckily those snug in there pretty good. That shouldn't be an issue, but didn't realize everything was so dried out. Baby that one. A little shimmer. I've got another 10 millimeter there. So we'll go those two. And we'll pop this off. There's little spots there. I thought there was 4. There's another one right above that. I'll pop this off. There's screws on there to take the door mechanism off, which we might not need to. So let me go get a small little flathead or a pick, a 10 millimeter socket. You got a pick. Push in a little bit on there. See where that is. You push it in, get a little twist. That thing is up here. That one's broken. think that can just stay there unless we're gonna pull that out. I don't think we're gonna paint this. Maybe these. We might lose this one until we pull the door off. Unless you have a magnet or magnetized wrench. Then now that that's off, I could reach in there and tap it and pull it out. But no, come up here. Looks like that's already broken. Come down, you feel it get tight. Pull it off. Same thing, feel it get tight. I'm just gonna do that all the way around. Here's where we want to start. On the sides, on the bottom first, just because of this up here. So apparently I have to take that bolt completely out because it's not wanting to raise right now. There we go. But you'll start on the sides and the bottom because this sits inside of here. So you don't want to lift that. You don't want to rip it because you'll break this off. So remember, this sets in here. So you're going to want to start from the sides, go all the way around, and then lift it up so we don't break that. Again, these front door panels are going to be trash. I gotta order new ones. Not too worried about those. That side is the exact same size thing as this, 210mm. You'll pop that off, take, pull and plug everything. You'll get your 10mm. Use your little pick, get the door handle off, and then trim around. This one, same thing here. We're going to pop that off to get to the screw there. Come back over here. Get a pick set. So this is the same on all the doors. Just get your pick in there. Looks like all of that one on the top is broken. Well, that sucks. These have little pins, so hopefully that can still just wedge in there. Those look like they're going to be our 7mm sockets. Which we have right here. Once you start doing a lot of this stuff, they're all going to be about the same size, unless somebody's changed something before. It's all interchangeable through the so whereas the other one had those two 10mm bolts, this one will have these two 7s underneath there. We'll take this guard off of here, and it looks like that's all that's keeping this one on here. Again, we'll start from the bottom. That should just come off the top. Looks like I forgot to disconnect the window plate. If you reach under here with your trim tool, push down, it should pop up that side. Probably do this before we remove the door, but you can always just put it back for right now. So we can get this pushed out. Push that down so I can pull it. Get it out. So, I guess before we do this, I'll re-record it over there. In the process, you should be doing it. But we'll push in on the sides here. Doesn't matter which side. Reach in underneath your drum puppet. Pop that off, unplug it. 2 screws in here. Pop all the way around. Lift up. That's done. I'm going to be cleaning that one up, painting it. Same with that other one. So, go get that going. Okay, got all those door panels off. This one was probably the worst one out of them all. This piece was broken that held this in. Snapped. I had it screwed together just so you had something to hold on to. That ended up coming undone. I even at one point tried re-gluing this back on here. This part that held it up, it's just a mess. I'm probably going to pop some of these off to keep those because those always come in handy. You can see some of them are broken. So now we're going to go ahead and get these speakers uninstalled. I might end up keeping these, trying to reincorporate them with the new speakers. We'll see where we're at. Also, bought some clips for this so you can just stuck right into the harness. And I don't have to try to figure out which one is positive and negative for each speaker. So let's get that. So before we get to the speakers, if you notice, there's a bunch of that gasketing around here. A lot of times this is plastic. It rips really easy. This is a nice rubber piece, so originally I had just planned on ripping all this off, maybe putting some else. But now that I'm looking at this, I might just go through and clean up all this off, wipe down the door jamb, and then re-glue silicone it. Put it back up there. These are nice. Usually you just get like some new tarp material and redo it after you've pulled everything out. I'll also put some sound deadening in here. So, while we got them open also, this side, when we try to lock and unlock the door, it makes a really loud grinding noise. So we're going to replace the door lock actuator as well. That's this guy here. We're going to replace the whole mechanism and the actuator. Instead of trying to take it apart, I'll replace one or the other. Also need to go in here and see why this isn't locking and unlocking right. That's grease, so that shouldn't be the issue. Also, my key, when I put it in, doesn't turn, or it turns too freely. So we're going to get in there and see what's going on. But one step at a time. Pull this off, clean it up, do this. Okay. Can't take those plastic pieces off until you've taken the speakers off, so we'll get started on that. Just a 7mm. 2 screws there. Apparently they're 2 different sizes. So we will try 6 on that. So there was a third screw here, so those two. That one. There's a little bit of a gasket here. Might clean that up and replace that. But this piece here you just push in. You should be able to pull this out. There we go. We have adapters for this. So like I said, we can just plug it straight in. And I showed you how to do that. I'm just going to go through and do the rest of them real quick. Now I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to have to reuse these to mount the speakers. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out so we can reuse this harness to put the speakers in. Okay, so to get this off, you'll pry off that cover first, and then you can get under there with a flathead and slowly pry this off. This will come off. We still have this here, which I'm just going to use a drill. So we can use that same port of entry right there. And drill right through it. Now I have a spot to run my speakers through to go to that harness so that when I re-put these in, they sit nice. So we'll do that to the rest, clean this up. Throw them in the Blazer. But first, I'm going to use these aftermarket cables that I was talking about earlier. You can't mess it up. One's wider, one's smaller. So you should plug right into the harness. So we'll plug one here, and then we'll throw them in. I'm gonna go double check and make sure that these fit on the car first, because I don't want to hook them on there and then have to fight, possibly break those if they don't even fit. So we'll check that and then we'll put them in. Got those done. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put some sound deadening on all the doors. Okay, got all the sound deadening in, threw in the back speakers. Forgot to show that. As you can see, that clip just clips right in there. That one had a lot more play than these ones are going to. Oh, that sucks. This is going to be that speaker wire. It's barely enough to stick them together, so I hope it will reach. Won't know until I put this door in. I don't know why those have been doing that lately, but lately I've been having to use I'm surprised this is working. Oh no, there it goes, jumping over. Been having to use an actual wrench on some of these. It's like they're just stripped enough, and because these are meant to catch, it's just rolling right over. Okay, now we got this part here. Ooh, I don't think it's gonna be long enough. What? I just broke a clip and I don't know how I did that. Okay, don't know what just broke. I'm trying to hold this up while taking this and pushing it down. No, these pins weren't lining up on the back too. Flathead would be ideal. I don't have that right now. This. There we go. I just gotta get it to click. Okay, front door speakers are in, both sides. We're getting new door panels, so we won't worry about that. Got these pulled out and cleaned. I just gotta tape them off and paint them. We'll throw those back up.